The new Goddess Parfum by Burberry is here, and I finally got my hands on a bottle. So I'm going to be telling you exactly what I think about this brand new launch. And of course, I purchased the original Burberry Goddess when it initially came out, and I fell in love with it. It's such a viral sensation, such an iconic fragrance. I know so many women that have basically use it as their signature scent, right? They use it as their signature scent. Here we have the brand new Parfum, and of course, I am incredibly excited about this fragrance. Super happy to have it in my collection. But before I start the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of perfume-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, please hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me. So, of course, with this being a brand new launch, the expectation, and of course, with Parfum in the name, the designation of the perfume and the higher concentration will give people the impression that this is going to be a subtle variation of the original, albeit longer lasting, and that's quite true. I think this one does have a bit of a manipulation as far as the note breakdown is concerned. It's not exactly the same. And I think anybody who is familiar with the original knows that it contains vanilla caviar, there's lavender, there's a lot of really beautiful notes. So it's a bit aromatic, but it also has gourmand nuance about it. I think the vanilla is quite rich and smooth and velvety without being overly boozy or overly sweet. So Burberry obviously has Burberry Her Elixir. There are a lot of other Burberry fragrances that I'm actually looking at over my right shoulder here, and I purchased so many of them throughout the years. That caters to a more youthful demographic. It's sweet, it's fun, it's flirty, it's playful. This possesses more of a sophisticated vibe. And so I think more for the confident woman, the businesswoman, maybe she's a CEO, maybe she works in an executive or corporate setting. This one conveys more professionalism. So despite there being vanilla in this fragrance, you'll also notice that, yeah, it gives more of a sophisticated vibe to it. So this fragrance takes away the patchouli as far as the note breakdown that I discovered online is concerned, takes away the patchouli, replaces it with suede leather. So already we're talking about a more sophisticated experience. And then there's also the inclusion of raspberry in the top. So you have this juicy raspberry note in the opening, but you still have that familiarity created on account of the vanilla caviar, and also the lavender, which is the motif in this fragrance, right? So let's go ahead and smell this one. Stunning. It's a stunning fragrance. The suede leather is not heavy-handed at all. I get that touch of the raspberry, but it's not done in an overly sweet, saccharine way. There have been so many other raspberry-based fragrances that have been released, and a lot of flankers utilizing that raspberry note in the opening. And I feel like every other rendition, every other raspberry perfume on the market has really spotlighted that raspberry note. And it's made it very sugary, very sweet, very youthful, almost juvenile. And this one is not it. It is not it. I don't necessarily have a penchant for raspberry perfumes. I don't. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh my God, it has to have raspberry in it. If it's done in a tasteful way, beautiful. It can add a really nice dimension and personality to the fragrance. And I do love the smell of raspberry, believe me. I think when it's too heavy-handed on the raspberry, that's when it can veer a little bit in a childish direction, which happens from time to time. Not here. This is a very tasteful use of the note of raspberry. Burberry, you got this one done right. You got this one done very right. I'm going to be recommending this to a lot of ladies going forward. So the raspberry in here is done very tastefully. I'm being honest with you. You're not even going to notice it. You smell this one and you're like, oh, it smells like a stronger Burberry Goddess. Like, what happened here? And then you're like, oh, well, actually, this one has suede and raspberry. You're going to be like, wait, really? And then after a few seconds, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get it. So I love it that, you know, it's not explicit. It's not too overt. And I think that's going to make a lot of people happy, where it's like, okay, I always found the original Burberry Goddess to be very sophisticated, and it's a grown-up gourmand, if you want to call it that. Although it's more of an amber because of the patchouli and the vanilla, you know, it falls under that classification a little bit better. It lacks a lot of other gourmand attributes that are found in a typical or traditional gourmand, but this one is really nicely done. The performance differential for this one, I would say, is a bit negligible for a lot of people. I think 2 hours might not be a huge difference. If you got 6 to 8 hours with the original, you're going to get 7 to 8 hours with this one. So, you know, if that matters to you, those 2 extra hours, then cool. You can get the Parfum over the original. I love them both. I think the original is probably going to be a little bit more diffusive, which is on account of the alcohol content. The alcohol concentration contributes to the diffusiveness or lack thereof of a perfume. The more alcohol you have, the more diffusive it's going to be. The more oil you have, the better longevity you're going to get. If that's something that, you know, is a consideration for you, then, you know, definitely implement that when it comes to whether or not you're going to consider purchasing a fragrance. This is so beautiful. The vanilla is very rich, it's smooth, it's velvety. The suede is very toned down. The raspberry is in there, but it's not overly sugary. And the lavender is beautifully aromatic, just like the original. I love being able to make this video because it's one of those perfumes where I just know a lot of people have tried the original, so it's not going to require a great deal of effort for me to articulate to you what it smells like. If I tell you it's like the original, but stronger, with a tiny hint of raspberry in the opening and not a heavy-handed suede, you're going to be like, okay, I kind of already know what to expect. But look, I would encourage you to go out there and just try it for yourself. I think I got... Where did I buy it? Anyway, try it for yourself. It's available in most department stores. I'm sure Macy's has it. It's awesome. Very, very good. Congrats, Burberry. This is a wonderful, wonderful fragrance and a really nice counterpart to Hero, I would say. Yeah. So Hero, I mean, they have been a bit more experimental with the Hero flankers. And I say that only because they took it in a more green, piney direction with some of the Hero flankers, whereas the original Hero had like the 3 types of cedar wood. And, you know, I thought there was going to be more of a comparison between the original and some of the other flankers, but this one definitely takes it in a more, there's more continuity, I would say, between this one and the original. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day today. If you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting that neighboring bell so you can be notified whenever I upload these daily videos, and also give this video a thumbs up because the platform will push it out to more people, thus giving it greater visibility. And that's a direct way of you supporting me and what I do here on the platform. It's something as simple as just giving it a thumbs up, but it really does go a long way. Thank you again for watching. I love you all. And I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new episode. Bye.